Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Anthony Goatley for Scouting on Air. On this episode, we'll go with Jesse for fishing, then we'll join Michaela at the MAC Rendezvous, and then we'll meet with some of our past alumni. And to end the night, we'll meet with Jet Miller, our first returning guest, on how he saved a life at his high school. Thank you for joining us. First, we'll join Jesse at DeBray Scout Ranch for fishing.
Welcome to the Gear Review segment of Scouting on Air. I am Jesse Quintana, the gear guy, and today we are going to be talking about fishing. Here I have some fishing baits. We just got done using these up at a camp near us called DeBray. We were fall fishing for bass and pike. We have 4 different kinds here, and they all perform differently. They are all used for different fish, and they perform different tasks. So the first one we have here is called the wacky rig. What we did was we took some soft plastic worms and we just put a hook through it. What this you want to do is just drag it slowly through the water and slightly be pulling. The next one is going to be the spinner bait. This one is going to be dragged through the water and spin because of this shiny reflector. As you pull it, you just want to reel it in and it will be spinning. Next we have the crankbait. This one resembles a cricket or grasshopper, and you just also want to pull this one slowly through the water. Lastly, we have the swim bait. This one you can let it drop to whatever depth you want to, and the tail is going to mimic a fish and wiggle back and forth. In the fall, the fish are looking for a quick, easy way to get food, so they come closer to the shore and just go for easy snacks. That's why all of these baits work pretty well in the fall, and that's why we caught so many fish. For the results, we have the wacky rig. This one did the best. It was also the easiest because all it is a plastic worm with a hook through it. This caught mainly our bass and our northern pike. Next we have the spinner bait. This one didn't catch any fish, but we almost caught a northern pike. The only thing is that it bit the tail off. Next we have the crankbait. We caught 1 sunfish with this one, and it didn't perform too well. It only caught 1 fish the whole time we were out there. Oops. And then lastly, we have the swim bait. This one caught bigger bass than the wacky rig, and this one is just meant to wiggle, and it caught the biggest bass. In conclusion, I would say that the best bait to use, it is also the simplest, is just the wacky rig. This one's just going to be a plastic worm that you can get a large pack of at any store like Walmart, and you just put a hook through it. All you have to do is dangle it in the water like this, and it mimics a caterpillar or worm, and many fish want to come after it. The next best would be the swim bait, because this one caught our larger bass, and it is also super simple. You can let it drop down to any level in the water and you'll be catching fish. The other ones didn't do too well, but it's obvious because one got broken. But they're all great options and are easy to get from any store. So I hope you like this gear review segment of Scouting on Air. I will catch you guys next time.
Now, we'll go to our correspondent Michaela for the MAC Rendezvous.
Hi, I'm Mac Wittgen with Scouting on Air, and today I'm at Mackinac Island for the MAC Rendezvous with a bunch of other scouts. Let's go talk to some and see what they're doing.
There have been a lot of things that I did, but I think I did like just hanging out, eating lunch. That was pretty fun.
Taking photos.
Probably it's seeing Arch Rock because it's my favorite place here. I've been here before and I always go there because it's such a beautiful place.
I liked Song Time.
Well, it was really cool that we got to go on the porch of the Grand Hotel
They told us at the assembly last night that it's the first time in 20 years that the Mackinac Rendezvous Scouts have got to do that. And so it was really exciting to be around and get to do that again. And it's the first time I've ever been there too. So
on this island, it was probably walking around looking at the fort. The fort was really interesting, seeing all the historical stuff inside.
Now, we'll join Tanner and visit with some of our alumni.
Hello, I'm Tanner Langdon, and today we are checking in on our members Yvonne, Teo, and Brooke. They are now at college, and we will be getting an update on their lives. What schools are you guys attending, and what are you studying?
So I am going to Wayne State University this year, and I'm living at home. So I got the whole house all to myself this week, and I commute to campus Monday through Friday.
I am currently at the University of Michigan, go Blue, and over here I'm in my dorm and I'm studying Ross Business School.
I go to Hope College in Holland, Michigan, and I'm currently studying computer science and Spanish on a pre-law track.
What do you guys enjoy most about post-high school life?
For starters, my parents don't really have to tell me when I come home. So like there's no stress if I'm running late somewhere or stay a little late. Overall, I guess you just have a little bit more freedom in your schedule and you don't have to spend as much time throughout the week in class.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to second that. The fact that you have so much agency, so much autonomy, and that I don't have to wake up until 10 a.m. every day has honestly been a great part and a great improvement.
Post high school life, I'm really liking the fact that I'm still continuing academic studies. However, it's something new, so you have to be away from home. As Brooke mentioned, you don't have your parents around, so they don't tell you what time you have to be in, when to do your homework. So I'm able to schedule things I want to do and connect with more people in a different way than I could in high school.
What do you guys wish you guys knew before you attended college?
For myself, one of the biggest things is that last year I ended up at a college that had only recently established their nursing program. So when I went there, there were a lot of things that I felt like I was still a guinea pig in this situation. So definitely when you're considering college, think about what career path you want to follow and put that into consideration when you're choosing your school, not just which school offers you the most money. But now I've transferred to Wayne, and so I'm really happy, and I talked to my student advisor and they help me make sure that I'm on the right track for the program I want to be in.
For me, I'd have to say the thing I wish I knew is to explore more. And that is, before attending college, choosing which one to go to, don't base it on only the college itself, but also its surroundings. Whether there's good stuff to eat, whether it's walkable, whether you like the temperature, all of that. Those are key factors that I overlooked, however, still played out in my favor in the end.
Yeah, kind of echoing what Yvonne said, I definitely look into what school you'd like, not just on their academics and how much money they give you, like Brooke said, but also the physical features around the campus. Another thing I'd look into is what other programs they offer. So for me, the Pre-Law Society here is really important. The Formula SAE racing team and the sailing club is very important to me.
What scout skills have proved to be helpful in your college life?
I will say last year I was living in a dorm, and so with me I brought some additional stuff that I recognized that some of my neighbors and roommates didn't have with them as non-scouters. So I had like my Leatherman, which is less than a 3-inch blade, as well as like a toolkit, some extra like rope, and just some general like things that came in handy along the way as far as like fixing something or just solving a problem in a pinch.
I would say, more specifically, the scouting on air skills of improved communication have helped me out a ton, whether it be making and finding new friends, or making presentations in class, or even applying for clubs and holding my own in a technical interview. I feel like the skill of communication that you get from scouting and confidence is one of the best that I've taken forward to using here.
I'd say one of the biggest things that I've taken from scouting is definitely time management. After working with the National Youth Leadership Training Program, it's really easy to start scheduling stuff out. So, when to do your homework. Oh, you have a, last minute reading the professor assigned like at 10 o'clock at night. You can schedule it in, get it done. And then I just think it's really valuable to have these skills that, you take from time management, communication, and collaboration from scouting and use it in your college life.
How has your experience on Scouting on Air impacted your lives today?
So last fall, because of my position on Scouting on Air, as well as being one of the first female Eagle Scouts in the Pontiac-Manitou district, I was actually invited to speak at the On My Honor Gala, and that was a really exciting opportunity. It was a little bit scary at first, but it was incredible, and it feels so empowering, as well as just like it's a really cool conversation starter. And every once in a while I'm talking to somebody and I'm telling them about this TV show that I had been on, and they're totally shocked. And for me it might just be normal, but like for other people that's a cool fun fact about you.
Personally, for me, Scouting on Air, I feel like it's something that I can talk about with people, and it's something that makes me unique in a lot of the applications that I did for whether it be clubs or internships, though that's going to come later. I feel the experience of being in front of a camera, being able to confidently talk and present my ideas in a very clear way has definitely allowed me to get to places that I otherwise would not have. And for that, I'm very thankful for scouting.
One of the big things I've taken away from Scouting on Air and living in a dorm here in college is that a lot of people, they're into radio. So like we have our own radio station here. And so it's one of the things that I've talked with some of my dorm mates, and I'm like, oh, you guys are on the radio? Oh, I did something similar. We did a scouting TV show, and then we talked about it for a little bit. And then I found out there's some other Eagle Scouts in my dorm, and then we started talking about it. And there's a lot of people that are actually interested in it, even though it may not be super big. People want to know more about it because it's interesting to know that, oh, there's a TV show and you were on it based on scouting.
Well, thank you for sharing how you've been doing and letting us know how this chapter of your lives have been going.
Of course, it was a lot of fun, and it was nice to see some familiar faces.
Yeah, definitely. The pleasure is mine.
Thank you for inviting us back, guys.
Back to you, Anthony.
Welcome back to Scouting on Air. I'm Anthony Goatley, and today we're joined with Jet Miller. So Jet, this isn't your first time on Scouting on Air. Do you want to tell us a little bit about why you were here last time?
Yeah, so last time I was here, I talked about an experience I had on Isle Royal where I reported, or my troop rather, reported a forest fire that we stumbled across on our last day of hiking.
And where was this hike at?
Isle Royal in Lake Superior.
Cool. Now, I believe something happened during your final exams. Do you want to share a little bit about what that was?
Yeah, so on the first day of exams, at our lunch break, our security guard had a heart attack in the gym while we were playing sports in the gym. And I had not realized this happened until I turned around to leave the gym to head back to class. And I saw a crowd in the other side of the gym, and I tried to look through the crowd to see what was going on. And I saw him lying there.
Now, once you saw him lying there, what did you first think?
So right away when I saw him on the ground, I yelled to the crowd to leave the gym. That way he would have some space. And I ran out of the gym and grabbed the nearest AED. And when I came back into the gym, our assistant principal was the only person remaining.
Okay. Now, where did you gain the insight and knowledge to know what to do in this situation?
So I thank my emergency preparedness badge for my ability to react immediately to the scene and be able to help set up the AED and do chest compressions on our security guard.
And once you started chest compressions, what happened?
After we had started chest compressions, some more teachers had come into the gym, and the assistant principal and I had put the AED electrodes onto the security guard's chest, and we gave him one shock with the AED, and after the shock, the ambulance had come from a nearby hospital, and they took him to the hospital.
Now, how does this experience change you at all, or how have you reflected on this situation?
After this experience, I've become a lot more aware of how sudden heart problems and heart attacks can happen. And this year, I'm trying to start a youth first responder kind of club where I will be teaching students who are curious about being first responders and kind of being able to help anyone if this were to happen again, or if any other kind of emergency were to happen. And this club is supposed to make it so that more students are able to do what I've done, especially since I'm a senior, so I won't be at the school. And there's only one other kid that I know of who has this kind of experience.
Now, for someone else who might experience this, or for the kids in the club, what advice would you want to give to them?
Don't hesitate. Hesitation is something that can't really be learned. It's more of an instinct, and a lot of people tend to freeze up when there's an emergency like this, and that can lose crucial seconds in any emergency, and every second counts.
Why do you think you didn't freeze up?
I think I had done enough training throughout my entire scouting career to where I knew exactly what to do, and I knew I was probably the only student in the building who would be able to help the teachers and the security guard in the scenario.
Now, with this club, you hope more students in the building have the knowledge and experience necessary to help people out, like the security guard?
Yeah, it's both for everyone's safety, as well as there's a lot of kids who are interested in going into careers that would need this kind of training. So it gives them a head start.
Now, this is your second time responding to a big event like this, because you had Isle Royal and now the security guard who had a heart incident. What's something that you've taken away from this that's not necessarily emergency preparedness or first aid related?
So one of my biggest things is to not be scared to step up, especially if you know that you're able to help someone in this kind of a situation, whether it's watching the trail when a fire's going over it, or if someone's having a heart attack. If you have the skill set, then you should be able to believe in your capability to help out.
Okay, now for those interested in your first responder club at your school, how would they go about joining?
So they would just talk to me or an adult about the club. I will be posting stuff about the club around the school and on social media in order to try to spread awareness about the club. And I know that there's a few people already interested and have talked to me about it. And I hope that as I have more meetings for this club, that more people join and gain interest.
Now, I see you're still wearing the life badge. Do you want to tell me a little bit about that?
So yeah, I have earned Eagle. On August 2nd, I earned my Eagle rank, but I have not had my Court of Honor yet. And so I still am wearing my life badge and my normal neckerchief.
Now, what was your Eagle project?
So for my Eagle project, I did a workbench that can be moved from my school to competitions for my school's robotics team. And I had that built during the last robotics season, and it had already gotten a lot of use, and the robotics team has greatly appreciated it and has been showing it off to the other teams. And before the bench, we had only been using the basic standard wooden tables that had been given to us.
Well, thank you very much for joining us tonight, Jet. For Scouting on Air, I'm Anthony Goatley. Thank you for joining us this evening.